I'm going to tell you how to get zero orange peel in your paint. You might have already seen this viral video, and that was the last one to do with painting. I went into a lot of detail from start, middle and end, but you guys want to know how to get the best finish in your paintwork at home. This bumper has got some flaky paint on it. We need to address it, so now's the perfect time to dive back into it to hopefully help you guys at home DIY perfect paint. There is a lot of great YouTubers out there that do well at talking about paint. The Gunman, Spray Work, Paint Society, all do absolute pristine paintwork and they explain everything very well. I have also produced some show-winning paint jobs on VW Caddies, from Darren's Blood Black Pearl, which is dark most of the time and then absolutely pops in the sunlight, to the Caddy R we built and VW Lapis Blue, and of course not forgetting the Mrs. Caddy that we painted in BMW Amethyst Purple. So I do know my way around a spray gun, but it's not my everyday topic. I am a bit of a jack of all trades, so I may not be the best at painting, but I do my best. I need to get these bumpers off because although it's a bit dirty under there, this was a show-winning van and it is still show-winning. There's a tiny little bit of paint that's flaking off and we need to address it. So I do believe this is the perfect time to explain to you some of the things I do not see on the internet. So if you've been scouring the videos on YouTube to get information about orange peel, flat paint, gun finish, I have not seen one person talk about what I'm going to tell you about today, because they all go on about gun settings this, gun setting that, do this, do that, but there's one thing no one ever tells you, and I'm going to tell you today. Not too much chit chat in this video. I'm just going to help you DIYers get the best finish you can at home. If you want to watch other YouTubers or take different bits from different videos, different people, Paint Society, Spray Work, Trigger Man, Gunman, all great YouTubers, do good paint and very good videos. And maybe if you go and watch one of them, comment in their comment section, you've come from DTE TV, and you will definitely learn something because they are great guys and they know their stuff. I'm a bit of a general all-rounder, so take what you want from each video, whatever suits you, whether that's from me or the other guys, and work out what works best for you. Now, the big thing a lot of people mention and a lot of people talk about that doesn't work just for everyone is gun settings. You've probably all seen how to get zero orange peel, how to get gun finish with the gun settings. Well, let me tell you why that's not true. I have a DeVille Biss, a GTI Pro here, bit of an old gun, but still works absolutely perfect and gets a brilliant finish. Now, the only thing about using the same gun settings as everyone else, and it won't work for just everyone, is because it's all to do with how much you regulate the pull of the trigger. So let's say you go one turn in with your fan, one turn in with the fluid tip. That might work for Mr. Joe Blogs, but for you, you're full pull and that's putting out too much fluid. The guy on the internet that told you to use those gun settings, he might not be full pull. He might be quarter pull or half pull. So then it's going to flow more fluid. So when people say use these gun settings on the internet, the gun settings aren't going to work the exact same for you. Only thing you can do is try to use their gun settings and see how you get on. Now, the very basic crude gun setting for some guns, I'm going to go one full turn in with the fan. Mine's got a little notch on it because it's a little bit posh. Some cheaper guns won't have. We're going one full turn in with the fan, and I'm going to go one full turn in with the fluid. And with the fluid, pull the trigger, and once you feel this screw start to push the lever forward, I'm going to do one full turn. Now that is a very crude but good base setting. That might work for you. Remember, it's all to do with how much you pull the trigger or not pull the trigger. And one last thing with regard into how gun setting won't work for you and work for him is because you might move a little bit faster. If you move a little bit faster, you need a little bit more fluid. If you move a little bit slower, that you need a little bit less fluid. So no gun setting that no YouTuber or no video tells you is going to work the same for everyone. Comment down below if you think I'm making it up or whether you agree with what I'm saying. I want to hear your comments either way. I painted this bumper about a year ago. We had a tiny little bit of flaking paint. He had a few stone chips, so I corrected them. I've rubbed out the plastic. I plastic primed it, 2-pack primed it, rubbed it down again. I've black base coated it up, and this is how it sits. I just need to tape up the grill because this is a different color. That is black. I'll paint this. We'll peel the masking tape off and lacquer it all in one go for the perfect finish. If you want to know the full story, how to go from a bumper, damaged, primed, cleaned, wet the floor, clean the gun, what to do, the full process, you're going to want to watch this video. I will put a link to it in this video description. That way, if you want to know all of it, go and check that out, and I'll go into a lot more detail. This one, I'm cutting straight to the chase so you guys can try and get flat paint. And believe it or not, flat paint actually starts with base coat application. Let me get suited up and I'll explain more. What do I mean when flat gun finish lacquer starts with to do with the base coat? Well, imagine if you had a perfectly flat piece of glass and you painted lacquer over it, it would completely go flat because the surface you're painting on is flat. And that's the same principle when you're painting a bumper, painting a car, bonnet, whatever. If your base coat is really textury, really grainy, then your lacquer is going to lay down bumpy and grainy, orange peely. So great paint starts with the base coat. So I'm just applying a light dusty coat as mentioned to make sure everything goes on nice, it lays down good and nothing separates or looks funny. That flashed off almost immediately. It is quite warm here. I've then gone over it with a wetter coat, and that's to smooth it all out. Remember, if you want a flat lacquer, you need to have a flat base coat. That brings us to now, about 20 minutes later. You can see it's dried a little bit patchy. So now I'm going to go over it with a drop coat, orientation coat, and that is basically holding the gun a little bit further away, pulling the trigger a little bit, and that will make all the paint look uniform. Again, I do mention everything even more in detail in the first video. I'm going to give it this drop coat, that's going to flash off, I'm going to tack rag it, and then we can move on to the final step as to getting super flat lacquer, or as flat as possible. And I do have one more little thing that no one else mentions in any other video. We'll get to that after I've lacquered it. If you're a novice painter or a DIYer, you're going to need as many tips as possible to get the perfect finish. Now, what I've also didn't see people talking about in other videos, there's two different types of lacquer. We've got MS lacquer and HS, medium solids and high solids. I've painted with both and both can come out nice. But if you're an absolute novice and want to get the best first time, you're going to use a medium solid because they do exactly as they sound. Medium solids, high solids. Medium solids flow out nicer. I will give you an analogy, a scenario, a little story before what I tell you, because in life, the greatest teachers, they don't just tell you something, they will explain why they've done it that way. Because if you understand something, you'll then be able to do it yourself. If someone tells you how to do something, but you don't understand it, you won't be able to do that job correctly. So if I give you a scenario on why I do something and you understand it, you will then be able to go and do that your end at home. And basically, imagine if you had a yogurt, a cold yogurt, you tipped it on the floor, it would land like a dollop, okay? Now imagine if you warmed up that yogurt so it was a bit thinner and you poured it on the floor. What's going to happen? It's going to hit the floor and it's going to puddle out. And that's because it's warmer and the viscosity is thinner. And that applies the same to lacquer. You can see that's quite thick. So I've just warmed my lacquer up in the microwave to 20 seconds. Now you can see that's nearly the consistency of water. And again, back to the yogurt on the floor, it's going to puddle out. And that's what you want. You want your lacquer to flow after you've painted the panel. Gun finish doesn't just come from painting and it's there. It's a case of paint, go, bake, flow. So after you've painted it, 10-20 minutes later, the paint flows out. So it's not going to be show winning straight out the gun. It might happen 10 minutes later. So warm your lacquer up whatever way you feel comfortable with. After the first video, some people say they use a bottle warmer, a radiator. I use a microwave, but as a disclaimer, do whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever is safest for your environment. Now what you don't want to do is compare your paintwork to someone's on the internet, because what you're going to do, you're going to see those viral pictures or those viral shorts where someone's painted a bonnet and it is completely glassed out, or it looks that way in the videos. Pictures and videos can be very deceiving. What pictures you're looking at is either a roof that's been painted and glassed out or a bonnet, and that's because it's laid perfectly flat. If you can imagine gravity or weight, everything falls flat. That is the same principle with applying lacquer. If you poured a cup of lacquer over a bonnet, scenario incoming, pour a cup of lacquer over a bonnet, it's going to puddle out. You pour the same cup of lacquer over the side of a van, it's all going to run to the floor. And that is why you don't want to compare the side of your van to a bonnet you've seen on the internet, because they can lay the paint down a lot heavier because the panel is flat. So a flat bonnet or a flat roof is going to puddle out and look glassier than the side of a big van. Been a few days since we got the bumper painted, and I have just got back from Harewood House VW Festival in Leeds, and big shout out to all you guys who came and spoke to me and the boy. Really appreciate it. But now we're back, we need to get back on with it, and let's check out how the paint is on the bumper. One thing you may not know, and that is all paintwork has orange peel, factory flow or factory finish. They're the few different terminologies you might hear floating around on the internet, and obviously orange peel is if you look at it and it looks a bit like orange peel, but factory flow and factory finish is in all paintworks. Now if you're sat at home thinking my paint hasn't got it, well, maybe don't go outside and look at it in certain lights, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And some of you may not know that because you've never seen it, but all paintwork does have factory flow, factory peel, or if it's a bit ropey, orange peel. Check out the red metallic. Yes, very nice. It is a blood black pearl, so it's mostly black, mostly dark, but when the sun pops, it absolutely pops. If you do catch it in the right light, you are going to see a bit of factory peel, a bit of factory finish. Some people might call it orange peel, but all paintwork has got it. I need to do a few bits to the grille and sort the badge out before we put this back together. It's sat over there waiting for its bumper to go back on, but I've got a few more bits to do. I am going to be playing with the transporter next. As I mentioned in the first part of this video, painting isn't my everyday trade. I do a bit of all sorts, so I may not be the best. I just do my best, and I like a bit of shiny paint. If you think I've missed something out that might help someone at home, comment down below, because all information goes out to the people who want to know more and do better paintwork at home, so they will be pinned in the comments. All feedback is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.